Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with Your Direct Sales Domme, Jenny Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jenny will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the Direct Sales Domme, Jenny Bellinger.
Welcome back to another fun, badass Direct Sales Mastery podcast. I'm Jenny Bellinger, your Direct Sales Domme, and today's episode is entitled, Why BDSM? So, in case you didn't already listen to episodes 1 and 2, please jump back and listen to the welcome episode and why coaching to get my direct sales history as well as my history in becoming a direct sales coach. But this time, I want to cover why BDSM because I've had so many people ask me the question, why? So let's start with the obvious one. Sex sells, right? Having the cover art that I've got catches people's visual attention in the podcast app. And also the name BDSM is something that just catches people's attention. And I'm not a shy person, as you can probably tell. But all of this actually started, the history behind this BDSM podcast, Badass Direct Sales Mastery podcast, actually started in either July or August of 2017. I was invited to participate in the very first New Media Summit with Steve Olsher. I had no idea who Steve was. He's a friend of a friend. And my friend Virginia said, you absolutely want to be at the summit. If Steve's doing it, it's going to be fun. You got to go. And Steve was smart enough to have some pre-conference meetings via Zoom where we got to talk about some of our business stuff and really prepare for this particular summit. And during the preparation process, we were working on our topic of influence. And as I went through that process and the process that Steve takes his conference clients through, my topic of influence became Badass Direct Sales Mastery. So anytime I talked to somebody at the conference and we were getting to know each other, we always discussed, well, what's your topic of influence? And mine was always Badass Direct Sales Mastery. And as I was figuring all that out, at first I was just going to do Badass Direct Sales Coach, Badass Direct Sales something. And then it clicked to me that already I had the acronym BDS. And I thought, well, if I could get an M in there, mastery, oh, look, boom, done. That's like really kind of fun and funny. And so I started with my Facebook community, the Badass Direct Sales Mastery community first. That went live online on May 1st of 2018 after I had started planning it out and talking to some direct sales friends of mine to see if this would be something they'd be interested in beta testing with me. And they absolutely loved it. So this all started back in 2017. Now, for anybody who is familiar with the lifestyle, the BDSM lifestyle, and in this case, I am using the actual acronym BDSM, there are some who may be concerned that I'm appropriating it. Well, just know that I am very familiar with the lifestyle, but because I'm respecting my significant other's privacy, I won't be telling our story because it's not my story to tell on an international platform such as a podcast. So let's talk about how I became the Direct Sales Domme. Well, as I mentioned on one of the previous episodes, I'm not a sadist. So you don't have to worry. You won't be feeling any physical pain from me. I am what's called a lady dom, meaning the female version of a gentleman dom. So I am respectful, very caring of my clients and you guys as my audience. I am a safe space. And even though I feel like I'm safe enough, we're still going to have a safe word, if for no other reason, just because this one is so much fun. And I've got to thank my friend Domenic Rinaldi, who has been a listener from the very first episode and a big supporter of the podcast and a good business associate friend of mine. He gave me a great idea for a safe word, and I absolutely love it because he and I are both meatloaf fans. So the safe word on our podcast is meatloaf, because I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. Isn't that great? I love it. That is seriously probably one of the greatest safe words in the history of ever. So thank you, Domenic, because that's what we're going to be using here on the podcast anytime we need to talk about safe words. So as we move forward with this podcast, I intend to provide a service that will help you grow into the person that you need to become in order to reap the rewards of the work that you will be doing. This podcast will serve as your personal growth piece of your business and personal life. Do it, don't do it. You're the one who's going to suffer the consequences of not taking advantage of this free business resource. So I hope that answers your question about why BDSM, why the acronym, why the connection to that lifestyle. And I really hope that you understand that this all is very tongue-in-cheek with the intention of making this something that's going to be a fun take on how to learn more about the direct sales industry and become better at selling, be a better leader, because DOMs, when done right, are great leaders and they take perfect care of their partners. So thanks again for listening to another fun episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery, and the interviews will be coming any day now.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.